All right, hey everybody. Hope you're doing good. Week 3, so we have just had our first full week of the class with lectures and everything. Hopefully you're kind of getting the feel for where everything's located, getting in sort of a rhythm. If you are still feeling lost or if you have any questions about anything, please let me know. It's much better to get those answered now early in the semester than it is later when you kind of having to catch up a little bit. But let's look at what we've got this week. So first off, the practice exam that I gave you last week, that's going to be due Monday. So if you haven't finished that already, make sure that you do that. After Monday, what I'm going to do is the 31st, this Monday, what I'm going to do is go through and start reviewing those videos. And if there were any issues, like if you skipped a step, if you didn't show your student ID, if you didn't show the area in front of you, what I'm going to do is send out messages and say, hey, there was an issue. And then what I'll do is I'll reset the exam and let you take it. Remember, you do have to follow those instructions to get credit. So if there was a problem, I'll send you a message and then I'll get you to redo it. And then once that issue's fixed, then I'll add those 5 bonus points. If there were no problems, I'm going to review them all. And if everything looked good, I'll just give you the 5 bonus points. So if you notice that, you should be okay. Check your messages anyway, because if there was like a small thing you forgot, I might send you a message and say, just make sure that you do this on the real test. But be looking for that feedback early to like middle of the week. We have our lecture this week is on flatworms, roundworms, rotifers, and annelids. So we're still dealing with really simple animals, but these are going to be a bunch of different types of worms. And then rotifers are different, but they're a small microscopic organism. So that's what we're going to be covering. Watch that lecture, and then you have a review quiz that is due on Sunday, September 6th. All right, so just make sure that you do that in time. And then lastly, the last thing we've got this week is your first lab assignment is due. So number 1, if you haven't done this already, make sure that you sign up for your HOL Cloud account. That's our lab website. And then remember, there are 2 prerequisites that you had to do, the getting started and the lab safety. Those are really quick, but you do have to do them before you can move on to the real assignment. So you can't skip those. You got to do that before you start the real labs. All right. And then this week, the lab that we have is on classification of species. So this is something we'll talk about, kingdom, phylum, things like that, that type of classification a lot in this class. It's something that we really talked about in 103, if you took biology 103. So this is going to be our chance to kind of review classification. And kind of talk about how we group different organisms, like how the scientists went about splitting them into different groups. So this lab is not, I don't believe you have any material that you have to provide. This is all just going to be mostly online. There will be a section where you have to make something called a dichotomous key. And that's not something we've really talked about in class yet, but it's used to help organize living things and splitting them into different groups and identifying them mainly. So I'm going to send out another announcement that goes along with this one. That's a good resource to help you with your dichotomous key. You're going to have a bunch of leaves that you look at, and you're going to have to build a dichotomous key to be able to identify them. It's kind of fun. I know if you've never done it before, it can be a little frustrating, but just make sure you read through the instructions. Look out for that other message or the other announcement I'm going to send about a guide to help you with that, and it shouldn't be bad. Best advice I can give you in this class in general, but especially for the labs, give yourself plenty of time. Don't wait until like Sunday afternoon to do this because it's due Sunday at midnight. If you'll go ahead and start this lab sometime, Wednesday, Thursday at least, something like that. That way if you run into any issues, you can send me a message and I'll be glad to help you with it. Okay? Finally, just a reminder for next week, our first exam is going to be Monday and Tuesday. So Monday is Labor Day. We are not going to, the college is closed for Labor Day, but I'm going to open it up then because I know some of you may be off for work and that's the best time for you to take the test. Monday, and then you have until Tuesday at midnight, so 48 hours to take that. So if you need to study, if you need to be studying, if you haven't done that already, all those lecture videos are still posted, the PowerPoints are still up. And then I've also put a study guide in the learning materials. If you click on that Unit 1 folder, down at the bottom, you'll find a study guide. So be looking at that. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be glad to help. Hope you all have a good weekend and week. And think that's about it. So quick story, I guess y'all can know like my weird hobby that I do. I like to run, and that's not that weird. I really like long distance, like ultra marathon races. So what I'm doing, I'm recording this late week 2. So over the weekend, by the time you're watching this, I'm doing a race in Georgia. It's really cool. They've set it up really small. Everyone's spread out, so it'll be a safe outside environment. But it's in a farm in Georgia. There's a dirt 2-mile loop, like a 2-mile dirt road. So it goes past a lake and in the woods and everything. And the way this race is set up is a 12-hour race. So from 2 p.m. until 2 a.m., you just run it as long as you can, or as far as you can, to see how many miles you get. So that's what I'll be doing. Sounded like a good idea at the time. I'm kind of questioning myself now. And I think it's supposed to rain the whole time too, so that should be kind of miserable. But that's where I'll be at. If you're informed that like you've got a new instructor next week, that means that I died out there. So hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, sorry. Y'all are a captive audience, so you have to hear me talk like that every once in a while. If you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know, and I'll be glad to help. Thanks.